Hare Krishna. To all the devotees, please accept my most humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatrupascha, kripa sandhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. So we'll start with our prayers and then we'll move towards the discussion. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामी इति नामिने नमो आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौर कथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम दायिने नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत्. So today is a very special day for all the ISKCON devotees, because today is the day when ISKCON was incorporated by our beloved Srila Prabhupada in New York. So it's a very special day, and I would like to start with a song that has been written by my spiritual master, His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, for our beloved Srila Prabhupada, and then we'll go ahead with the discussion. So I will share the lyrics here so that you can all go through it. I'm able to show. For some reason, I'm unable to share my screen. Okay, let me just see what is the problem. Anyhow, somehow I'm not able to share the screen, but let me sing the words. And as you all know, His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he is born as an American externally, but he has written this song in Bengali, so it is a Bengali song. So I will sing the words. We'll not be able to do the whole song, but we'll just go through some of the verses. And then I also want to read a part of a book, and I want to share some very special things with you about Srila Prabhupada today. since it's a very, very special day for us, for all of us today. So the first verse is यदि प्रभुपाद न होइतो তবে কি হইতো এ জীবন বহিত কিসে यदि प्रभुपाद न होइतो তবে কি হইতো এ জীবন বহিত কিসে So the yadi means if. Prabhupada na hoito. It means if Prabhupada was not there, tobe ki hoito, then what would have happened? E jivana bohito kishe. How could we have passed our lives? How would our lives be if Srila Prabhupada was not there? And then the next line is Nitai Gore Apar Koruna Kedito Shakol Deshe Nitai Gore Apar Koruna Kedito Shakol Deshe. So Nitai Gore Apar Karuna. I don't know about all of you, but as far as I am concerned, I am a Bengali myself. But for almost 24 years of my life, being a Bengali, I had never heard of Nityananda Prabhu or Gauranga Mahaprabhu. It was only when I was introduced to Srila Prabhupada, or rather when Srila Prabhupada mercifully came to deliver me, that's when I heard about Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So, being a Bengali, if this was my condition, then I really don't know about others who are not even Bengalis, because Mahaprabhu, he appeared in the Bengal region. So as a Bengali, if I wasn't aware, and that is it is our Srila Prabhupada who really gave Nitai Gaur, means the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and the mercy of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu to everyone in the the entire world actually, as in not just the Bengalis, but the whole world today is receiving this mercy just because of Srila Prabhupada. So our Guru Maharaj is writing here, Nitai Gore Apar Karuna Kidito Shakul Deshe. Apar Karuna means limitless, endless Karuna. Actually, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but Krishna comes in the mood of a devotee as an acharya to actually explain to us by his way of, by his activities, by personally behaving the way that Krishna wants us to behave or wants us to be like. So Mahaprabhu came in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and he came in the most merciful mood. Even Krishna is, of course, most merciful, but Mahaprabhu is the most merciful mood. And Nityananda Prabhu, who is Adi Guru, is even more merciful than Mahaprabhu. So we have heard a lot of pastimes of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga. So I'm not getting into that today. So apar karuna, limitless mercy, ke dito shakul deshe, means who would have given it to the entire world if it was not our Srila Prabhupada. And then the next verse is পাশ্চাত্যের যত পাপী দুরাচারী শূন্যবাদী মায়াবাদী. Paschat means the Western world. পাশ্চাত্যের যত পাপী, papi means people who are not aware of the Vedic system, who are not even aware what is the right way to live, who are not aware what is the purpose of human life. Such people who do not know anything about the Vedic scriptures, who do not follow the scriptural principles, they are called papi because they don't know only what Vedic scriptures are. That is why they are papi. Durachari means Achar means the way you behave or the way you live your life. And durachar means the way that a human being should not lead their lives. If somebody is leading or living their life in that way, then they are called dur achari. Dur means bad, and achar means to behave. So, one who is behaving in a way which is not right or which is not according to the Vedic scriptures, which is not cultured or right for a human being, that is durachari. So, पाश्चातेर जातो पापी दुराचारी Shunyavadi Mayavadi. Shunyavadi means voidist, who do not believe in any supreme Lord, who believe that there is no Lord. Shunyavadi. They don't believe in any God. And Mayavadi, who believe that Maya is actually supreme and they think that Krishna is actually Maya. They do not understand that Krishna has a form just like you and me. He has an original form. But Mayavadis are people who are unable to accept what the scriptures are saying. They don't even accept Bhagavad Gita because they don't believe Krishna. So they are Mayavadis. I mean, they do not believe in the words of Krishna because they are unable to accept Krishna as the supreme God. So they are Mayavadis. পাশ্চাত্যের যত পাপী দুরাচারী শূন্যবাদী মায়াবাদী তাদের উদ্ধার করিবারে মন হেন কোন দয়ানিধি তাদের উদ্ধার means to deliver them. Who would have such a heart, such a compassionate heart, that one would take so much risk, so much of suffering and pain just to deliver people like them who don't even know who God is, who don't even believe that there is a God, who don't know anything about the scriptures. And then there are people who don't care about God. Whether God exists or does not exist, I don't care. Such a compassionate heart Srila Prabhupada has, that he took all the sufferings, all the pains, everything, the risks, risking his own life. He traveled from India to the Western world just to give this mercy to the entire world. So that is our Srila Prabhupada. And these are just the two verses that I have read. Actually, Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he has described all the qualities and um, the activities of Srila Prabhupada in this song. So if you get some time today, I would request all of you to go through, to listen to this song after the class, and also go through the meaning of the verses. But if I go through all the verses, if we get time in the end, we'll try to go through the verses. But before that, I would like to go ahead and read something from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. And I hope I'm able to share that now. Okay, is everyone able to see my screen now? Okay. All right. So Okay. So here, if you, this is from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit, the first volume and 12th chapter. So let me just start. I'm just going to read this because it will be very clear as I read it. The journey to America. Today the ship is flying very smoothly. I feel today better, but I'm feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my lords Sri Govind, Gopinath, Radha Damodar. My only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, in which I am tasting the nectarine of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His divine grace. I depend fully on their mercy. Their means Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Shri Radha Govind Ji, Gopinath, and Shri Radha Damodar. So I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. Jaladut Diary, September 10th, 1965. So, so Srila Prabhupada, when Prabhupada was traveling from India to US to America, he was traveling not by a passenger ship, but he was traveling in a cargo ship where all the luggages or these kind of things, materials, all these kind of things are transported from one place to the other. And why did he take up this risk? Here he is mentioning that I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. This is not that some whimsical thought that, okay, some random person has said you go there and you do this. No, this was the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that order was given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to our Prabhupada. And here Prabhupada, out of his utmost humility, he's saying, I have no qualification, but I have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of his divine grace, so far away from Vrindavan. Now we can understand from this ex, uh, from this short part of the letter that Srila Prabhupada has been missing Vrindavan so much. And he was very well settled in Vrindavan. There was no need for him actually to travel from India to US. There was no need for him. He was very happily living in Vrindavan and he had all the facilities there. He had his servants there who were taking care of him and he was serving there very nicely. He was serving Shri Radha Gopinath. He was able to get the darshan of Radha Govindji, Radha Gopinath, but he took the inconvenience. In fact, I would put it in quote unquote, he took the inconceivable inconvenience at the age of 70 just for our sake, just because it was an instruction of his spiritual master. And here, Srila Prabhupada as an Acharya is showing us that how important it is to fulfill or rather to put efforts to serve the instructions of the spiritual master. That at the age of 70, now somebody may ask, why at the age of 70? Why did he not go at the age of 20, 30, 40, whenever? Because he was preparing for that travel. He had been translating and writing the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam that nobody has ever written. There are so many books of Bhagavad Gita. I'm calling them books of Bhagavad Gita because the authors who have written these Bhagavad Gita, so called Bhagavad Gita, they have put their own interpretations. They have themselves not understood Bhagavad Gita. They have themselves not realized anything out of it, and what they have written in is actually the interpretations of themselves, what they think about the Bhagavad Gita. It is not Bhagavad Gita as it is, that is given by Srila Prabhupada, where he every now and then he has clarified that he has not given his own interpretations. Nowhere it is written that I think this is like this, or in my opinion it is so. No, whatever Krishna has spoken, as it is Srila Prabhupada has given it to us, as it is Srila Prabhupada has explained in that context. And that is why this Bhagavad Gita is different from all the 500, 600, whatever number of n number of publications that are there in this world today of Bhagavad Gita. Every XYZ, Tom, Dick, Harry comes and starts writing their interpretations of Bhagavad Gita. But by reading that, nobody is really going to get any realization of Krishna, who is the main character, who is who is himself declaring that yes, I am God. So by reading these random Bhagavad Gita, nobody is going to get any purification, any realization, no bliss, nothing. You can read it like a storybook, like a comic series, but this is not going to help you. But Srila Prabhupada gave us Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada prepared those purports. He sat day and night. He would work during the daytime, saving money for the travel, and then at the night, in the night time, he only slept couple of hours, and then he spent all night writing these purports to give us the English translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Until then, we only had the Sanskrit texts, and I don't know about others, but at least I myself cannot really understand Sanskrit so well. And even if a Sanskrit scholar comes and explains those verses, it is of no use, because somebody who has not realized the essence of it cannot give it to you. If somebody is not proficient in mathematics, cannot cannot give you um, or cannot explain it to you very nicely, because he himself is not very efficient in it, he himself is not proficient in it, then how can he explain it to you? If somebody is not a doctor, they cannot train you in doctory, they cannot make you a doctor because he himself is not a doctor. So similarly, if somebody has not realized Krishna, how can such a person give you Krishna? But our Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. And that is why, just by reading the Bhagavad Gita as it is, there are so many people whose hearts have transformed and they have become pure devotees. So, going back to what I was reading, is my screen clear? Is visible to everyone? If somebody can just unmute and confirm if it is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Screen is clear.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm reading from here. Um, on the 19th, when the ship arrived at Colombo, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, Prabhupada was able to get relief from his seasickness. The captain took him ashore and he traveled around Colombo by car. Then the ship went on toward Cochin on the west coast of India. Janmashtami, the appearance day of Lord Krishna, fell on the 20th of August that year. Prabhupada took the opportunity to speak to the crew about the philosophy of Lord Krishna, and he distributed prasad Let me mute everyone so that there is no noise. Okay. So Prabhupada took the opportunity to speak to the crew about the philosophy of Lord Krishna, and he distributed prasadam that he had cooked himself. So even while traveling, he was giving this mercy to everyone. Although, if you see that he had just got some relief from his seasickness. Still, this was on the 19th, and 20th was Janmashtami. And on the very next day, he cooked all the prasadam himself and then he distributed that to all the crew members. So, this was Srila Prabhupada's heart. He, despite all his difficulties, challenges, everything, he just kept on giving mercy. He just gave. August 21st was his 69th birthday, because we know the day after Janmashtami is the appearance day of our Srila Prabhupada. So 21st August was his 69th birthday, observed without ceremony at sea. He was all alone. He had no one, and he was also sick. That same day, the ship arrived at Cochin, and Srila Prabhupada's trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam volumes, which had been shipped from Bombay, were loaded on board. By the 23rd, the ship had put out to the Red Sea, where Srila Prabhupada encountered great difficulty. He noted in his diary rain, seasickness, dizziness, headache, no appetite, vomiting. Have we gone through some of these things in our life, in our own life, at least once? Dizziness, you're feeling dizzy. If you're in scorching heat, you sometimes feel dizzy. Headache, no appetite, vomiting. And seasickness is something, unless you experience it, you will not know how terrible this is. The symptoms persisted, but it was more than seasickness. The pains in his chest made him think he would die at any moment. In 2 days, he suffered 2 heart attacks. He tolerated the difficulty, meditating on the purpose of his mission. But after 2 days of such violent attacks, he thought that if violent attacks of heart attack, violent heart attacks, he thought that if another were to come, he would certainly not survive. On the night of the second day, let me just pause here for a moment. Let me ask if any one of you, God forbid that this does not happen to any of you. I remember my father has undergone a heart attack, and I remember that when we were sitting in the doctor's chamber, the doctor said that he looked at my father and he looked at me, and then he said, "You have to admit him immediately in the ICU." And so I asked the doctor why, what happened. We had just done his ECG and echocardio, and we were showing the results to the doctor, and he said because he has an ongoing heart attack, series of heart attacks. And I remember the condition of my father. He was not able to walk properly. He was feeling breathless. And even to do a little work, he was finding it so difficult. So just imagine in that condition, Srila Prabhupada, these were just series of minor attacks. Srila Prabhupada underwent 2 major attacks. And what was he meditating on? He was meditating on the purpose. Here, he was meditating on the purpose of his mission. But after 2 days of such violent attacks, he thought that if another were to come, he would certainly not survive. On the night of the second day, Prabhupada had a dream. Lord Krishna in his many forms, was rowing a boat, and he told Prabhupada that he should not fear but should come along. Prabhupada felt assured of Lord Krishna's protection, and the violent attacks did not recur. The Jaladuta entered the Suez Canal on September 1st and stopped in Port Said on the 2nd. Srila Prabhupada visited the city with the captain and said that he liked it. By the 6th, he had recovered a little from his illness and was eating regularly again for the first time in 2 weeks. So, in 2 weeks, he had not eaten regularly. If one day we don't get something to eat, our condition becomes so terrible. We start feeling anger, agitated, we feel so upset, disappointed. Everything starts, anybody we look at, the at least I'm talking about myself. If I don't eat for some time when I'm hungry, after a point I feel like punching someone because I cannot tolerate hunger. And here is our Srila Prabhupada. He has not eaten regularly for 2 weeks just for us. Because Srila Prabhupada does not eat anything that is not offered to Lord Krishna. Because Srila Prabhupada does not accept anything that is not offerable to Krishna. It's not like us that we purchase something from the restaurant, we purchase anything from the shop, and then we say, oh Krishna, please accept this because I like to eat this, and then we start eating a samosa, we start eating this, that. No, Prabhupada is not like that, because Prabhupada loves Krishna. Just like when the parents love their son, they will not give them any trash to eat. Nobody will tell their son or their daughter that, okay, this is trash, please eat this. Will any parent say that? Yeah. And even children will not say that to their parents that, okay, papa, ma, this is trash. Kachra hai, kachra khao. No, no parents will say that and no kids will say that. Similarly, why? Because the parents love the kids and the kids love the parents. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada loves Krishna. And that is why Srila Prabhupada does not offer Krishna anything that is not first class. No second class things. There's no question of third class. So Srila Prabhupada does not offer anything that is not first class, and until he does not get such items, he does not offer it to Krishna. And if he is not offering it to Krishna, he is not eating. So that is our Srila Prabhupada. In that state, he's traveling to US. Then, having cooked his own khichdi and puris, he was eating regularly again for the first time in 2 weeks. He reported in his diary that his strength renewed little by little. Now, this Thursday, September 9, to 4 this afternoon, this is Srila Prabhupada's part of his letter. To 4 this afternoon, we have crossed over the Atlantic Ocean for 24 hours. The whole day was clear and almost smooth. I'm taking my food regularly and I've got some strength to struggle. There is also a slight tacking of the ship, and I'm feeling a slight headache also. But I'm struggling, and the nectarine of life is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, the source of all my vitality. Now, many times when we are not feeling well, we are unwell, if somebody tells us, now when if you are unwell or if I'm unwell and somebody tells, here, this is Bhagavad Gita, or here, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, this is Chaitanya Charitamrit, read this and you will feel amazing. How many of you agree that yes, it's going to happen? Just imagine you have a severe headache, you have not eaten for 2 weeks, you have seasickness, you are vomiting again and again, and somebody comes and gives you Chaitanya Charitamrita and says, read this, and you're going to feel bliss. Please raise your hand if, honestly, if you think that, yes, it's really going to happen to me. Okay, let me put it the other way because this does not really clarify. Okay, how many of you say that, no, I just need to rest at that time? or whatever. Okay, now I see the hands going up. Right. That's the same with me. So, what are we able to understand here? When we speak of a pure devotee, this is the heart of a pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada is writing this diary not because it is going to be published. Srila Prabhupada did not even know that whether he will be able to make any disciples or not. He just had faith on his spiritual master and Krishna. He just had faith, not that, and he had vision. He was enthusiastic, he was positive, but there was no surety. He had no surety whether he will have disciples or not. What to speak of whether this diary is going to get published or not. This is his personal diary where he's writing these things. So here, this is we understand what a pure devotee is. In this state of mind, he is saying that this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit is the source of all my vitality. When he has a headache, when he's struggling, when he has very little strength actually, and he's on the sea, it's 24 hours, and he has not even eaten that well. Taking my food regularly means he must be taking very little, some khichdi or some puffed rice or something. He's struggling, but he's getting relief by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, by relishing Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we should understand that there are so many so-called gurus who have never even read any scriptures, but they come and speak as if they are such scholars in those scriptures who have never even read them. So we should understand, we should be able to differentiate in a real guru and in among I mean in these fake gurus who just name themselves as some so and so guru. So we have to use our intelligence here, that what does it really mean to be a pure devotee. Don't use this word very loosely. Oh, he's a pure devotee, oh, they are a pure devotee. No, pure devotee is not some 25 paise, is not some charana sort of a thing. It's a very big deal. So here our Srila Prabhupada, a pure devotee. The next 10th September, Friday. Today the ship is plying very smoothly. Now this is the same part that we read in the very first, in the beginning. Today the ship is flying very smoothly. I feel today better. But I'm feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my Lord Sri Govind Gopinath Radha Damodar. The only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, in which I'm tasting the nectarine of Lord Chaitanya's Leela or pastimes. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His divine grace. I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. Just imagine if you had to travel to a place unknown, no idea who's going to take care of you. You do not know anybody there, nobody knows you. You're all by yourself. You're traveling somewhere, and even when you get down the flight or whatever, whichever way you're traveling, the transport medium, there's no one to really receive you. You don't even know where you are going to go because you are not carrying any cash with you. You're carrying some very meager currency, which is not even going to suffice for one fourth of a day. What to speak of booking a hotel room, or what to speak of eating something or purchasing something to eat? Can you imagine yourself in such a situation? In that state of mind, Srila Prabhupada is remembering Vrindavan. That is his mood, that is his heart. He's not saying, I'm missing my family. He's not saying, I'm missing my followers. No, he's missing Vrindavan. He's missing Radha Govindji. He's missing Radha Gopinath, Radha Damodar, where he lived. Now, the next part, We'll come to, yeah. During the voyage, Srila Prabhupada sometimes stood on deck at the ship's rail, watching the ocean and the sky and thinking of Chaitanya Charitamrit. If it was us, we would think of some nice movie scene like Titanic. Oh, wow. But here, Srila Prabhupada is thinking of Chaitanya Charitamrit. Vrindavan Dham and the order of his spiritual master. Why? Because he's missing Vrindavan Dham. He he's seeing Vrindavan Dham. He's relishing Chaitanya Charitamrit in his mind by watching these scenes. And the order of his spiritual master to go preach in the West. Mrs. Pandya, the captain's wife, whom Srila Prabhupada considered to be an intelligent and learned lady, foretold Srila Prabhupada's future. If he were to pass beyond this crisis in his health, she said, it would indicate the goodwill of Krishna. It would indicate the goodwill of Krishna. That means she had forecast or she had seen that Srila Prabhupada was to suffer a lot health wise, and the it it was a crisis situation. That means he may not have survived. But here we are not talking of some material or some mundane person, some ordinary living entity. We are not talking about an ordinary person. Srila Prabhupada, being a pure devotee, is always under the protection of Lord Krishna. So here she says that if he crosses the crisis in his health, it would indicate the goodwill of Lord Krishna. The ocean voyage of 1965 was a calm one for the Jaladuta. Now, this was said by whom? The ocean voyage of 1965. Never has this happened earlier, never has this happened later. The 1965 voyage of Jaladuta was a calm one. The captain said that never in his entire career had he seen such a calm Atlantic crossing. Prabhupada replied that the calmness was Lord Krishna's mercy, and Mrs. Pandya asked Prabhupada to come back with them so that they might have another such crossing. so, so here when Mrs. Pandya, the captain, was traveling back from America to India, so his wife, Mrs. Pandya, told Prabhupada or asked Prabhupada that why don't you come back with us? Then in that case, again, the crossing would be a very smooth one. Usually, Atlantic Ocean is extremely wild. It's so that is what they are saying, that it has never been calm even once. And Prabhupada said that this was the mercy of Lord Krishna. So, if you remember that when Prabhupada was going through the two heart attacks, Krishna came in his dream and he said that come along, don't worry, I am protecting you. So, this is what that was not just a dream, that is actually Krishna personally coming and protecting Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada wrote in his diary, if the Atlantic would have shown its usual face, perhaps I would have died. But Lord Krishna has taken charge of the ship. So, and here on September 13th, Prabhupada noted in his diary, 32nd day of journey, that is, so he traveled for 32 days, cooked bati khichuri, this is a Bengali khichdi, or uh, in English it's called hotchpotch. It appeared to be delicious, so I was able to take some food. Today I have disclosed my mind to my companion, Lord Shri Krishna. Here Prabhupada is disclosing his mind in the diary, and we are very fortunate that we are able to read Srila Prabhupada's diary. Today I have disclosed my mind to my companion, Lord Shri Krishna. So Krishna and Prabhupada are eternal companions. This is something that we understand here. There is a Bengali poem made by me in this connection. And in this connection, I want to take you to that Bengali poem that Srila Prabhupada has written. Again, we may not do the entire poem, I mean the entire song, but I want to take maybe one or two verses and let's see what Srila Prabhupada, what is Prabhupada expressing here. This is his mind. This is not something that Srila Prabhupada wrote that in the coming years this would be published. This is Srila Prabhupada intensely expressing his humility, his prayers, and expressing his mind and his heart. বড় কৃপা কইলে কৃষ্ণা অধমের প্রতি কি লাগিয়া নিলে হেথা করো এ বেগতি. So, Boro Kripa Koile Krishna. Boro means big, very big, and Kripa means mercy or great mercy. Koile means you have done this mercy. Is everyone able to see the screen, the lyrics? If somebody can unmute and say,
Yes, we can see. We can see, but very, very, very small.
very small, okay. Let's see. How is this? Is this
A little better.
little bit? Okay, let me increase.
We can enlarge it. The small one also we can
We
enlarge.
can enlarge. Okay.
Is this clear?
Yeah. Better, better, better. Yeah. This is okay.
Okay, okay. I'll again mute everyone. No. Okay, so here the first verse, বড় কৃপা কইলে কৃষ্ণ অধমের প্রতি. কইলে বড় কৃপা কইলে কৃষ্ণ means Krishna, oh Lord Krishna, you have showed great mercy upon me. অধম means fallen. অধমের প্রতি, towards this fallen soul. Now Srila Prabhupada is calling himself fallen. Why? Because he is a pure devotee. Pure devotees never look at themselves as someone very great. Rather, they have genuine humility because they know that everything happens by the mercy of Krishna. And Krishna is the doer. But in the material world, the mundane human beings, like us, ourselves, of course, you all are very exemplary. I should not say us. Let me talk about myself that mundane people like me, we always feel that I am the doer. If something good happens, I feel that, okay, wow, I have put in this effort and that is why this result has come. This is how our mindset is. And then maybe that next moment, okay, because we have heard so many classes and everybody says that we should always remember it is Krishna's mercy. Chalo theek hai, chalo Krishna ki kripa se ho gaya, Krishna kripa se hua. But our heart and our mind are actually not really, because this thought definitely comes that okay, I have put in so much efforts, thank God I got this result. एक बार तो मुंह से ये निकलता ही है या मन दिल में ही आता ही है that thank God that this I have received this. If I had not put in this hard work, if I did not do that course, if I did not give this time, it's all if I don't give time, if I don't do it, then it is not going to happen. This thought is the most foolish thought because Krishna is ultimately the doer. But here, Srila Prabhupada, being a pure devotee, in his utmost humility, he is saying that Boro Kripa Koile Krishna Adhamer Prati. He is calling himself Adham, most fallen soul. And he is saying that, oh Lord Krishna, you have shown the greatest mercy upon this most fallen soul. And then, Ki lagiya nile hetha koro e begoti. Ki lagiya. Ki lagiya anile means, for what reason have you brought me here? Srila Prabhupada, every moment he's missing Vrindavan, but just for his Gurudev's instruction, he is traveling, he's here in this cargo ship, suffering heart attacks, seasickness, vomiting, no prasad, nothing, no one to take care. On his birthday, there was no one to wish him, nobody to wish him. Just imagine on your birthday, if nobody is wishing you, you have nowhere to go. Chalo, if somebody's birthday is there, but nobody is wishing you, but at least you have a choice to step out of your house and go somewhere of your choice. I remember, I'll not name anybody, but I remember one of the devotees who is still present here today also. I remember once this devotee had shared that it was his birthday and um, nobody had wished him. And that is why it was a very saddening thing, right? If it is your birthday and nobody wishes you on that day. In fact, it has happened with me also once. So, even my parents had forgotten because they were busy taking care of someone who was very, very sick. And even my parents, therefore, they had forgotten my birthday. So, I remember how disheartening it is. Now, imagine Srila Prabhupada, nobody to wish him, nobody even knows that it is his birthday. In that situation, he's writing this. Ki lagiya anile, for what reason have you brought me here? Koro ebe goti. Now please show me your purpose. Please take me forward from here because I don't know why you have brought me here. But if you have brought me here, you means who? Krishna. If you have brought me here, there must be some reason, there must be some purpose. So please take me or make me do it. Do what you can do, whatever you like with me. This is what Srila Prabhupada's mood is. The second verse. আছে কিছু কার্য তব এই অনুমানে নহে কেন আনিবেন এই উগ্রস্থানে. Now, now Srila Prabhupada, okay, where is he traveling? He's traveling from India to America. No, for all of us, America is the dream. The dream. We all want to go to the Western world because it's so glamorous, so glamorous. Who does not want to go? Okay, possible that after coming to Krishna consciousness, your intelligence has got, you have got the higher taste, and you may feel that, okay, now I don't have that kind of attraction for the Western world. Or I don't know, but normally this is the mindset. Otherwise, why half of the people are sitting in the Western world? Everybody wants to go to US. Everybody wants to go to Europe because that is, they want to see that glamour. Now here, Srila Prabhupada in the second verse, Dhodala, he is saying, Ache kichu karjo tabo. Definitely, you must be having some purpose or some work. Definitely, you have some purpose or work for me to do. A Anumane means I'm guessing, or I'm in my opinion, I'm thinking like this. I have this feeling that definitely Krishna, you have some purpose or some work for me over there. Nahe kano anibin. Otherwise, why would have got me a Ugrasthane? Ugra means this terrible place, this horrible, yucky place. Srila Prabhupada is calling the Western world a horrible place, terrible place. He's telling Krishna that definitely you might be having a very high purpose. Otherwise, why would have you got me to this horrible, deteriorated, third class place, degraded place? People, they don't have lolium for Krishna. They have lolium for going to the Western world. The moment you say America and the moment you start describing America, they start feeling lolium for that. But if you speak of Krishna, nobody has an interest. Of course, barring all of you and anybody who's going to listen to the recording later, because surely you have developed that taste. You all are very fortunate that you have developed the taste to hear about Krishna. But this is about regular people who have no taste for Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, Yes, totally. We in Hindi we say dho dala. Like yes, washed off this thing that anybody who thinks America, America, Srila Prabhupada is saying that degraded place. Definitely, you have got me here. Some purpose must be there. Otherwise, why have you got me here? Now, from here, we'll go directly to verse number 15. Yes. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying, আনিয়াছো যদি প্রভু আমারে নাচাতে, নাচাও নাচাও প্রভু, নাচাও সে মতে, কাষ্ঠের পুতলি যথা, নাচাও সে মতে, নাচাও নাচাও প্রভু, নাচাও নাচাও প্রভু. So here, আনিয়াছো যদি প্রভু, Aniacho means if to bring someone somewhere, like if you get someone to a place, that okay, come to this place, come to this location. So Aniacho, if you have got me here, oh Lord, oh Krishna, if you have got me here uh, to make me dance, amare nachate, amare means me, to me, nachate means to make me dance. Srila Prabhupada is not saying that you make me do this or do that. He is saying make me dance. Nachao, nachao, Prabhu. Nachao, she mote. Nachao, nachao, Prabhu. Make me dance, oh Krishna. Make me dance as you like, as you wish to make me dance. কাষ্ঠের পুতুলি যথা, নাচাও সে মতে. কাষ্ঠের পুতলি, কাষ্ঠ means wooden puppets, putali means puppet, jotha, jotha means just like these wooden puppets are made to dance as per the will or the wish, the desire of the puppeteer. You are my puppeteer and I am your wooden puppet. Make me dance the way it pleases your heart, the way you like. So here again, a very important point for all of us. Srila Prabhupada is saying that please make me dance the way you like. So if we just think of situations in our life that when we have to do something that we don't like, or when we are put in a situation that is not as per our desire or as per our wish. Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan. Somebody may think that, okay, I want to do bhakti. मुझे तो भक्ति ही करना है, but मेरा situation ऐसा है, my family or my job or whatever, XYZ, or my college, my studies, things are such that these are not favorable for Krishna consciousness. It is not favorable for Krishna consciousness. Then why am I here? I should move out of this place. Here, Srila Prabhupada is, through his situation, why Krishna has put Srila Prabhupada in this situation? Not because he has some bad karma, but because through the pure devotees, Krishna teaches us. People who are not yet devotees or who are not pure devotees. Krishna will not give such people some, if you are in grade 1 or if you are in grade 5, here we have our Mohan Prabhu who is in grade 5. Now if suddenly tomorrow his teacher comes and tells him that okay, Mohan, you have to write a test and the test paper is based on grade 12 questions. Obviously, he will not be able to answer anything. Even for me, if somebody comes and tells me, okay, this is a PhD paper, you have to sit and write the answers, even I cannot do. Not possible. So Krishna is also like that. We are all in grade 1, some of you may be grade 5, some of you may be grade 10. But the thing is that, just get me down, Vardan. But the thing is that Krishna will not give us an exam of a grade which we do not belong to. If we are in grade 1, Krishna will give us an exam which is from grade 1 only. But Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. So through him, Krishna is teaching us through his example. And that is why Srila Prabhupada here is not comfortable. He's going through tremendous inconvenience. He's put in a situation that he is not happy. He's not, I will not say happy, because Srila Prabhupada is always grateful for whatever situation he's put in, because he's a pure devotee. So his heart is of a grateful heart. He's always grateful to Krishna. But he's not comfortable in this situation. And that is why Srila Prabhupada is saying that Aniyacho Jodi Prabhu Amare Nachate. If you have got me here to make me dance, then please make me dance. Please make me dance the way you want. Kashther Putali Jotha Nachao Shemote. The puppeteer makes the wooden puppet dance as he wants. Sometimes the puppeteer may move the hands, sometimes they move the feet, sometimes the head is moved, the shoulders are moved. And as the puppeteer moves, the puppet also moves accordingly. Puppet is not moving according to their own desire. So pure devotees are always orchestrated by Krishna. They are never doing anything by their own self. So here we need to understand that when we are put in a situation which we are not comfortable with, or we are not happy with, then this is what we should pray to Krishna. This is the verse. That verse means not WORSE. Verse is VERSE, the verse of the song. Then this is the verse that we should pray to Krishna, that আনিয়াছো যদি প্রভু আমারে নাচাতে, নাচাও নাচাও প্রভু, নাচাও সে মতে, কাষ্ঠের পুতলি যথা, নাচাও সে মতে. So this is a very, very beautiful prayer that Srila Prabhupada is teaching us. And when we actually pray like this to Krishna, Krishna also feels very pleased with us. Why? Because whatever purification we are going through, that is Krishna's mercy. We are meant to go through maybe millions of times more than such purifications. But very mercifully, Krishna wants us to go back to him. So he gives very little fractional portions of those karma or those purifications to us, so that we go through them, and through those experience we grow through them. We go through them and we grow through them. So when we have our own experiences of this sort, that is when our conviction, our faith, and our mood to surrender to Krishna, that is taking shelter of Krishna, when that becomes empowered, when we become empowered, when our surrender increases to Krishna. So the more challenging situations you are in, the more speedy your travel towards Krishna is. So if somebody has a very favorable situation, for example, very favorable situation, family is devotee, all family members are devotees, they are practicing devotional service. So it's like they are going in a train towards Krishna. But if somebody is facing a situation that they are not comfortable with, where they are pushed to the corner, where they are finding it difficult to practice Krishna consciousness, that means you are actually going in a helicopter towards Krishna. So your speed is 10x. So you should understand that that is special mercy of Krishna upon anybody of us. If any one of us is in that situation, we should know that that is the greatest mercy of Krishna, and for that we should convey our gratitude to to Guru and Krishna. So on that note, I will stop for today. And Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, for this very, very special day. When, because some of you were not there when we started the class. So today is a very special day, because of which I wanted to glorify Srila Prabhupada, and not just glorify for the sake of it, but we should know that who Srila Prabhupada is, what he did for us. Of course, if you read Prabhupada Lilamrit, you will be in tears. The everything that Srila Prabhupada tolerated for us. He traveled to US, and in some places it is so cold. It is snowing, and Srila Prabhupada did not even have proper winter wear. What to speak of jackets and mufflers and all? He did not even have proper sweaters. And even in India also, when it is very cold in India, even Indians cannot go out without sweaters. Then just imagine, it is snowing there, and Srila Prabhupada did not have proper winter wear. But he was preaching. He was distributing Back to Godhead magazines. For what? Not because he wanted to become famous. He would have become famous anyway, even if he had stayed in Vrindavan. But that was not his purpose. His purpose was to serve his spiritual master. And if we want to really be followers of Prabhupada, if we really, just being part of ISKCON is not what we are looking at. We want to love Prabhupada. And the only way to show this is by actually following the instructions of our spiritual master. Because they are all serving Srila Prabhupada. Our spiritual master, they are all the bona fide spiritual masters, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They are serving Srila Prabhupada, and we need to serve our Guru Maharaj. We need to serve our spiritual master. That is the mood that is required. What can we even give to our spiritual master, or how can you ever repay what Srila Prabhupada has given? Can we ever repay what our spiritual master is giving us? Never, ever. It is not possible also, and that is not expected also. But the only thing that we can really do is the nectar, the bliss, the essence that they have given their lives for, to give to us. We should try to give that to someone else. By sharing what we have received, we will receive more. And we'll get greater mercy when we try to give this mercy, try to share this Krishna consciousness to someone. That is when Srila Prabhupada will be pleased, and that is when we will receive all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So on that note, I'll end here. And if anybody has any questions, any doubts, any comments, or if you want to share something about Srila Prabhupada or your experience with anything to do with Srila Prabhupada, then please raise your hands. Yes, yes, no. Yes, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna. Today's class was really nice. Like you explained it really nicely. Anyone can understand how you explained it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. Jai Shri Prabhupada. All right. If there are no comments or no thoughts that you want to share, then we'll stop here for today. We'll end the session. Okay. Yes, Lal Mohan Prabhu. Lal Mohan Prabhu, actually, before I just, it just reminds me of something that when Srila Prabhupada used to take classes, and one day, whenever Srila Prabhupada took classes, our Guru Maharaj, Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj would always raise his hand and ask a question, or he would always raise his hand to ask some of the other question. So one day, Srila Prabhupada gave a class, and then Prabhupada asked, like we ask in our sessions, does anybody have a question, or so Srila Prabhupada asked, does anybody have a question? And that day nobody raised their hands. So Srila Prabhupada inquired that, where is Jay? He asks very good questions. Where is he today? So our Prabhupada, he likes when somebody asks questions. And that should be the mood also. So whenever Lalman Prabhu raises his hand, it always reminds me of Guru Maharaj raising his hand during Prabhupada classes. So yes, Prabhu.
I was just sharing that I was reading the Prabhupada biography, his work, everything as a new work. And he was to stand in the queue in the public toilet uh, for the morning session in that severe winter of Newark. I was in Newark in the winter when my son Deepu was studying in Yale. I was there. So in that cold, Prabhupada was to stand in the queue for the toilet. I can't imagine. This is the way. This is the way he served us.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely. And
Amazing.
why was he taking so much pain? So we have to understand. Actually, it is it is really applaudable that Lalmohan Prabhu reads regularly. He reads Bhagavad Gita. He reads Srimad Bhagavatam, and our Srila Prabhupada has given his life in giving these to us. That was his purpose. Prabhupada's purpose was this, to give us this highest thing to us. So the only way that we can show some gratitude is if we are reading these books. That is the way to show our gratitude. We may not be 100% there. Even if we read one line every day from Prabhupada books, then that is showing gratitude. That is saying thank you for what Srila Prabhupada has gone through. In our house also, if we have two washrooms and if the washroom is occupied and if we have to wait for 5-10 minutes, it is so painful. We get so it is so tormenting. So just imagine at 70 years of age, just to give this nectar to us, Srila Prabhupada has taken all the pain.
All these pens, yeah.
Absolutely.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, yes, Eva. You can unmute and you can.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanyavad Pranam. Mataji, I have one question. It may be wrong, but I want to ask it. That is, why did Prabhupada go there without any kind of sweater and all?
Okay, so it's not that he did not have any sweaters, but Srila Prabhupada was at the age, he was 69 when he was traveling. And more than carrying his own clothes and his own amenities, what he needs, he wanted to carry the Bhagavatam volumes. He was carrying Srimad Bhagavatam volumes, which was more important. And Prabhupada even said this, I am not taking the Bhagavatam to the Western world, but Bhagavatam is taking me to the Western world. These are words of Srila Prabhupada. So just imagine, have you seen the entire Srimad Bhagavatam set? How heavy it is? At the age of 69, nobody to help. Srila Prabhupada was alone carrying them. No porter, nothing. So he was not concerned that he should, he was not concerned about protecting himself. He was concerned about protecting us. And that is why I don't know if he was carrying a sweater or not, because he never mentioned all these things. These are mundane things for him. So I don't know about that. But I know this thing, that he was carrying this huge weight that was very, very heavy, Srimad Bhagavatam, the volumes. And that was the reason why Srila Prabhupada But this was a good question because many of us may have such questions. It was a very nice question. We get to go deeper into the purpose and the mood of Srila Prabhupada. How compassionate can somebody be, really? That is why our Guru Maharaj, the first bhajan that we just did 2 verses of it. That, and we should just be in this mood. We should meditate this verse. Jodi Prabhupada na hoito, tabe ki hoito, e জীবন বহিত কিসে Jodi Prabhupada na hoito, tabe ki hoito, এ জীবন বহিত কিসে নিতাই গৌরের অপার করুণা কেদিত সকল দেশে I really cannot, even every time I sing this line, I tell myself that really being a Bengali, in West Bengal, people know about Gaur Nitai. They know about Mahaprabhu, they know about Nityananda Prabhu, because it also comes as a in the literature. It also comes in the languages that, okay, I think in history or something. But for those who are not brought up in West Bengal, for them, there is no means to know about Gaur Nitai. Then what to speak of people outside India? And Mahaprabhu just came for this purpose, to give Krishna to everyone. And here is our Srila Prabhupada who is giving Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu to everybody, freely, distributing freely. Gaur Nitai le lo, Gaur Nitai le lo. Like, some peanuts. So Srila Prabhupada is giving that mercy. But people are not ready to take it. Anyhow, so this was a very nice discussion. If there are no more comments or no feedback, no questions, then we'll stop here. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, गौरांग कोटि भक्त वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। I want everybody so that I can hear all the jay. Only jay for Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Nothing else, please. Okay, let me. Okay, everybody can unmute and let's. जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीला गुरु महाराज की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि, श्री राम कुटी भक्त वृंद की जय।